Hi friends, welcome to UPSC Logics. This is the UPPSC Special Revision Series Part 1 of one-liner revision for the most relevant questions. So it's got about 100 questions in it. So we begin after this, and don't forget to press the bell for notifications, otherwise you'll miss out on a lot. And this series is only in English. We'll be doing another one in Hindi, which will follow after this. Who is the person fondly known as the chief architect of the Indian Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. First attempt in the world to constitute a constituent assembly to frame a constitution was made by America. The first attempt by Indians to write a constitution for India was done by a committee headed by Motilal Nehru, which is known as Nehru Report. The idea of the Constitution of India was flashed for the first time by M.N. Roy. The plan of setting up a constituent assembly to draw up the future constitution for India was given by the Cabinet Mission Plan. The members of the Constituent Assembly were elected by provincial assemblies. Which of the following words was added into the preamble of the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976? Socialist. From which constitution was the concept of a 5-year plan borrowed into our Constitution? USSR. The procedure of amendment to the Constitution is borrowed from the Constitution of South Africa. Which country is the best example for the federal and unitary governments? Which country is the best example for the federal and unitary governments? America and Britain. Which of the following is not a democratic institution of the Rig Vedic era? Grammar. During medieval India, which kings first established local self-government? Cholas. The East India Company was established in the year 1600. Which charter empowered the British governors of presidencies to make bylaws, rules, regulations in conformity with the British laws? Charter of 1726. Who started dual government in Bengal? Robert Clive. Who is the first Government General of Bengal? Warren Hastings. Which is the first written document in the constitutional history of India? The Regulating Act 1773. Which act created for the first time in India Government of India? Charter Act of 1833. Which act created the Supreme Court? The Regulating Act 1773. First Law Commission was appointed in India for codification of laws under the chairmanship of Lord Macaulay. Which act made the beginning of a parliamentary system in India? Charter Act of 1853. Under which of the following acts the Crown of England took the affairs of the Government of India into its own hands? Government of India Act 1858. The Governor-General of India was also the representative of British Crown to princely states in India and hence was known as the Viceroy of India. Which act for the first time gave an opportunity for Indians to enter into the sphere of legislature? Indian Councils Act 1861. Which act made the beginning of electoral system in India? Government of India Act 1858. Which of the following acts made the Indian legislature bicameral for the first time? Government of India Act 1919. The famous Dandi March led by Gandhiji was against salt tax. Which proposal was referred to as the post-dated check? The Cripps Proposal. The Indian National Congress started Quit India movement after the failure of Cripps Mission. Gandhiji gave a call to all Indians, do or die, which is popularly known as Quit India movement. Which plan rejected the demand for independent Pakistan? Cabinet Mission Plan. Partition of British India into two independent nations, India and Pakistan, was done according to Mountbatten Plan. The federal features of the Indian government was introduced by the Government of India Act 1935. Which feature was borrowed by the Indian Constitution from the British Constitution? Law-making procedure, parliamentary system of government, rule of law. The Constitution supports rule of law. In Britain, Parliament is supreme. Accordingly, which among the following is supreme in India? Constitution. The Government of India Act 1935 provided for establishment of federal court, diarchy at centre, provincial autonomy. The Act of 1935 abolished diarchy in the provinces. The Constitution of India was enacted by a Constituent Assembly set up under the Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. The Constitution Assembly of India was created as per the proposal of Cabinet Mission. In which year did the Cripps Mission come to India? 1942. The Constituent Assembly set up under the Cabinet Mission Plan had a strength of 389. The strength of the Constituent Assembly after the withdrawal of the Muslim League was reduced to 299. How many committees were set up by the Constituent Assembly for framing the Constitution? 13. Who of the following acted as the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly? B. N. Rao. Demand for a constitution framed by a Constituent Assembly was made by Gandhiji. The idea of a Constituent Assembly to frame a constitution for India was first mooted by Swaraj Party in 1928. Who started with presentation of the objective resolution on 22 January 1947? Jawaharlal Nehru. When was the objective resolution moved and adopted? 13th December 1946 and 22nd January 1947. The members of the Constituent Assembly were elected by provincial assemblies. The Constituent Assembly of India held its first meeting on 9th December 1946. Which one of the following acted as the provincial president of the Constituent Assembly? Sachidananda Sinha. The Constituent Assembly elected on 11th December 1946 as its permanent chairman, Rajendra Prasad. Who elected the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly? B. R. Ambedkar. The chairman of the drafting committee to prepare a draft constitution of India was B. R. Ambedkar. The name of Dr. B. R. Ambedkar is associated with which of the following? Chairman, Drafting Committee. Who among the following was member of the Drafting Committee? Ambedkar, Gopalachari Iyengar, Alladi Krishnaswamy. Many provisions in our Constitution have been borrowed from the Government of India Act 1935. The Government of India Act 1919 introduced a system of diarchy in the provinces. Diarchy means a system of double government. Which of the Constituent Assembly established to form the Constitution? 6th December 1946. The Constitution of India was adopted on 26 November 1949. The Constitution of India came into force on 26 January 1950. The Constitution of India contains articles, parts, schedules. 448 articles, 25 parts, 12 schedules. How much time did the Constituent Assembly take to prepare the Constitution of India? 2 years, 11 months, 18 days. Who had given the idea of a constitution for India of all? M.N. Roy. The Constitution of India is written and bulky document. The constitution framed by a committee consisting of the people representatives is called as written constitution. Constitution, which provides for a series of semi-autonomous states joined together as a nation, is Federal Constitution. Centralization of power is an important feature in Federal Constitution. The Constitution, which can be amended by simple act of the legislature, is known as Flexible Constitution. Which of the following provisions of the Constitution came into force soon after its adoption on 26 November 1949? Provisional Parliament, provisions relating to citizenship, elections. India has been described under Article 1 of the Constitution as a union of states. The Constitution of India is partly rigid, partly flexible. The Constitution of India describes India as a union of states. The Indian Constitution is recognized as federal in form, unitary in spirit. The feature common to both Indian and American Federation is Supreme Court to interpret Constitution. The Indian Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. Hence, this day is celebrated as Republic Day. January 26th was selected as the date for the inauguration of the Constitution because Congress had observed it as the Independence Day in 1930. 26 November 1949 is a significant day in our constitutional history because the Constitution was adopted on this day. Which one of the following exercised the most profound influence on the Indian Constitution? The Government of India Act 1935. The parliamentary system of government in India is based on the pattern of Great Britain. To whom does the people of India give the Constitution to? Themselves. The beginning word "we" in the preamble refers to the citizens of India. The important test to identify the basic features of the Indian Constitution is Preamble. The preamble to the Constitution contains fraternity, democratic, sovereignty. India is a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic. In the Indian Constitution, this expression occurs in the preamble. The preamble to the Constitution declares India as sovereign socialist secular democratic republic. The preamble of Indian Constitution has been amended so far one time. The preamble was amended by the 42nd Amendment 1976. Fraternity means spirit of brotherhood. The words socialist secular were added by the 42nd Amendment. Liberty in our preamble does not include freedom of action. Which among the following is an aid to the statutory interpretation? The preamble. Which is a key to open the minds of the makers of the Constitution? The preamble. If the head of the state is an elected functionary for a fixed term, it is known as Republic State. The preamble to the Indian Constitution is borrowed from the Objective Resolution. Objective Resolution was silent as to the concept of dash which was inserted into the preamble by the Constituent Assembly? Democratic. Universal adult franchise shows that India is a dash country. Democratic. Who proposed preamble before the drafting committee of the Constitution? Jawaharlal Nehru. The preamble of our Constitution reads, "We, the people of India, in our Constituent Assembly, adopt, enact, and give to." Okay guys, this brings us to the end of part 1 of this series. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications of new videos. Do it now.